And no one, I mean no one, is paying to see Angel Reese attempt to play basketball. Hell, not even Mama Reese is paying to watch this lack of skill.
The numbers don't lie, and they reveal a reality the WNBA can no longer ignore. When Caitlin Clark went down with a left quad strain on May 25, 2025, the impact was felt instantly across the league's entire economic ecosystem. With Clark expected to miss at least 2 weeks, the drop in attention, energy, and buzz exposed a stark truth. Her star power drives the league in a way few others can. As that reality becomes clearer, players like Angel Reese and teams such as the Chicago Sky are being forced to confront an uncomfortable fact about the undeniable influence of true superstar appeal in professional women's basketball.
You can't tell me that the Caitlin Clark effect isn't real. You knew when news broke yesterday that Caitlin Clark was going to be out for a few weeks, that ticket prices were going to go down, but I never expected them to go down 71% for the rivalry game.
The moment news of Clark's injury broke, the WNBA's carefully built economic momentum collapsed almost instantly. Ticket prices for Indiana Fever games plunged by an astonishing 42%, falling from an average of $137 to just $80 overnight. This wasn't a slow dip or a routine market adjustment, it was a sharp, immediate reaction from fans. The message from the marketplace was clear. Without Clark on the court, the product simply didn't carry the same value.
The same price. Indiana Fever ticket prices to games over the next 2 weeks have dropped 42% since Caitlin Clark's injury announcement, an average ticket price of $137 all the way down to $80. People are selling their tickets, definitely can't get face value, so what do? They just continue to lower and lower and lower and lower and lower the price.
The Chicago Sky faced an equally painful reality. After moving their highly anticipated June 7th matchup against the Fever from the 10,387-seat Wintrust Arena to the much larger 21,000-seat United Center, specifically to handle the massive crowds expected to see Clark, the plan quickly unraveled. Once news of Clark's absence spread, ticket prices collapsed. The get-in price for what had been billed as a marquee showdown fell from $86 to just $25. For a franchise that had invested heavily in shifting the game to a bigger venue, the financial fallout was immediate and severe.
The Sky relocated the game to the United Center, the home of the Chicago Bulls and the largest arena in the NBA, expecting a marquee matchup between Clark and Sky forward Angel Reese. Now here's where it gets sweet. All right, it gets real interesting right here. However, uncertainty looms as ticket prices for the game have plummeted dramatically following Clark's injury announcement. Oh my goodness, since it became likely she will miss the June 7th game, ticket prices have dropped a staggering 71%. Oh my goodness, following from an entry price of $86 to just $25 according to TickPick.
This economic freefall highlights a reality that many within the WNBA have been hesitant to admit. The league's success isn't evenly shared among its stars. While players like Angel Reese have generated headlines and recognition, the financial data reveals a clear hierarchy when it comes to true drawing power, one that places Caitlin Clark in a league of her own. The television numbers make that gap even clearer. According to Fox Sports analysis, games featuring Clark and the Indiana Fever averaged around 1.178 million viewers during the regular season. In comparison, other WNBA matchups averaged roughly 394,000 viewers. That's nearly 3 times the audience. This isn't just a small advantage or a slight ratings bump, it represents a dramatic shift in the league's television appeal, showing just how uniquely powerful Clark's presence has become in the landscape of women's basketball.
Television appeal.
These WNBA franchises that moved games like the Chicago Sky to the United Arena, you're screwed. You're done. You're cooked. Nobody is going to show up to this thing. Chicago Sky can't sell out their own 9,000-something seat arena like it is. They couldn't when they were kind of decent. They're a dumpster fire now. And now that Caitlin Clark is injured, the ticket prices for the Fever and Sky game just plummeted to Hades.
If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe. The May 17, 2025 matchup between the Fever and the Chicago Sky perfectly illustrated this phenomenon. The game attracted 2.7 million viewers, becoming the most watched WNBA regular season broadcast in 25 years. At its peak, the audience climbed to 3.1 million viewers, proving that Clark's presence can pull in casual sports fans who normally wouldn't tune into women's basketball. In fact, that single game generated more viewership than some entire playoff series from previous seasons, highlighting just how massive Clark's influence has become on the league's television product. Looking at the broader trend makes the impact even clearer. During the 2024 season, 24 WNBA broadcasts surpassed 1 million viewers, and 21 of them featured Caitlin Clark. In other words, nearly 90% of the league's biggest television events were tied to one player's presence. The attendance numbers tell a similar story. The only 3 games that drew more than 20,000 fans all involved the Indiana Fever, further reinforcing Clark's status as the league's biggest attraction and primary driver of fan interest.
We know that wherever she goes, she's selling out arenas. The ticket prices skyrocket. Like even trying to get tickets to Carver Hawkeye Arena when they played the Brazilian national team at her old school was just insane prices. If she's going on the road, wherever she's going, ticket sales jumped by 140%. Average is $312. Like, that's crazy.
While the broader WNBA grapples with Clark's absence, no team illustrates the harsh reality of star power quite like the Chicago Sky. Sitting at 0-4 to start the 2025 season, the Sky find themselves in a difficult position, still searching for their first win while their supposed rival continues to dominate headlines, even from the injury report. Angel Reese, long positioned as Clark's primary rival dating back to their college battles, now faces the challenge of keeping her team relevant as Chicago struggles to establish any real identity on the court. The Sky's slow start represents a sharp departure from preseason expectations, and the lack of wins has been accompanied by fading interest from both fans and media. The difference becomes even clearer when you look at ticket prices. While the Sky's United Center matchup against Indiana commanded premium prices because of Clark's expected appearance, most regular games at Wintrust Arena are now available for as little as $17. That pricing gap reflects the market's blunt reality. Fans are far more willing to pay when a true marquee attraction is involved.
The WNBA will be reliant on their other stars to maintain the interest of the mainstream. With Angel Reese being the only player with mainstream name recognition, most of the pressure, it is going to be on her to perform. And we have plenty of evidence that proves Angel Reese is not qualified to carry the league.
The Sky struggles go beyond just wins and losses. Their 0-4 start has also fueled a growing conversation about the team's direction and identity. Without the automatic spotlight that comes with facing Caitlin Clark, Chicago is now forced to rely entirely on its on-court performance to attract attention. Early results suggest that the product hasn't been compelling enough to sustain the heightened interest the franchise experienced during the peak of the Clark rivalry narrative. Meanwhile, the broader economic impact tied to Clark continues to stand out. A detailed economic analysis found that Caitlin Clark accounted for an astonishing 26.5% of all WNBA economic activity during her rookie season. Looking ahead to 2025, projections estimated that Clark could generate around $875 million in total economic impact for the league, with a realistic possibility of surpassing $1 billion. These figures aren't just speculation, they're grounded in measurable growth across multiple areas, including game attendance, merchandise sales, television revenue, and increased economic activity in cities where the Indiana Fever play. Together, they highlight just how transformative Clark's presence has been for the league's financial landscape.